So, Anthony, thanks for your question. As far as riding 100 miles a week, 100, 200 miles a week, yeah, that's somewhat catabolic, so you're definitely going to break down muscle. That's inevitable. That's all endurance sports, especially when you're trying to be competitive. Ideally, you want in that sport to get to the right body weight and hold it for performance reasons. You could do that safe and soundly, assuming that you followed a progression and you didn't just jump into it. As far as the mileage itself and what I specifically talked about in my post as far as the lactate accumulation and the toxins, it's hard to say what's in your bloodstream day to day because as you get more proficient in riding bike, your legs get a little bit stronger. Specifically, it's called muscular endurance, not strength endurance, muscular endurance. And then your body gets really good at buffering that lactate and not allowing it to accumulate as much and use it as fuel and all that stuff. So, but it's hard to say what's happening on those rides nutritionally. Do you feel flat at mile 50? Do you start, at 50 miles in the week, do you start to fall apart? Is that when you take a rest day? I don't know how you structure it. Riding 6 days a week sounds excessive to me, although I have heard people that are trying to accumulate a ton of volume in zone 1s and zone 2. And that lower intensity work is the type of stuff you could accumulate. The higher intensity stuff is going to be 5, 10, 15% of your training tops. And that needs to be no more than 3 days a week, if that makes sense. And the way I would structure any endurance work would be Monday hard, Tuesday easy, Wednesday moderate, Thursday rest day, Friday hard, Saturday easy, Sunday moderate. And I think I would go that route as opposed to just accumulating a ton of low intensity work or just accumulating a ton of high intensity work. So your body's going to be the biggest tester. If you get on the bike and you feel like crap, then you need to hold back and go into zones 1 and zones 2. If you feel great, generally coming off a rest day or a recovery-ish day, then you can push a little harder. But that's few and far between. That's going to be 2 to 3 days a week tops. The rest of your work is going to be lower intensity base work. Don't know if you're doing hills, hard repeats. Don't know what your fueling is like, so that's kind of hard to say. I'm not scared of the overall volume, assuming that the majority of it is lower intensity, which is probably what you're doing. As far as breaking down muscle and rebuilding, yes, it's catabolic. I don't know what your ideal body weight was. I didn't know where you started at. I don't know if you are just burning off the fat you have on your body and using that as fuel. At some point when you lean up, that's no longer going to be available to you. And then you're really going to make sure you really have to dial in your nutrition. As far as endurance athletes, I'm sure they're doing gel packs or eating along their rides or something like that. Yeah, I would consider all those things. So a lot to talk about. Hopefully this video makes sense. I have a couple other emails I have to address, so sorry if I rushed through it. Hopefully I'll see you soon, Anthony. I'll talk to you. Bye.